this Wahala virus from the country and the entire world. May the Lord Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all.
Radio Democracy, the true voice of the people.
No, this one is a special dedication to all the people of the station. Real. All the lovers of Radio Democracy. All the lovers of Radio Land. The voice of the masses. Hear this. Come on. Home down selector. Home down selector. 98.1. The voice of the people. Radio Democracy. Radio Democracy.
Radio Democracy, the true voice of the people.
Friday, June 19, 2020. Good morning and welcome to the last edition of the program Good Morning Salone for this week, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. And we will bring you this Friday edition of the program Good Morning Salone. Musa Kamara na my name.
And Mina Khadija Bangura, good morning. Inside the program this Friday morning, the Minister of Health and Sanitation, Professor Alpha Wuri, say the local ventilator them where some students them na salon don't make. Go out for the one them where the country get na Connaught Hospital. Some club manager them na the Salone Premier League don't say they're not able for pay them player them salary now for 2 months because they not get better couple for sake of the coronavirus.
I will tell you this with all honesty, we are not paying 100% salary.
One of the things that would deprive the league now until it works. You're not gonna support nothing for 3 months now, no salary.
For pay players, we league not the play, it's not easy.
And today inside the program, the Examination and Compliance Manager na the Financial Intelligence Unit, David M. Bobo, will talk about the verification and license process, where FIU go begin to bureau and microfinancial institution them na the country.
Well, these and plenty other stories them did na the program for you, plus the police officer commanding na the New Englandville Police Division, Superintendent Issa Kamara, say then get complaints say bad people they attack, thief and trick people where they pass na Hillcourt Road before 9 o'clock night, and walk about self inside the program for you. Members say they listen we live on the internet on www.radiodemocracy.sl, courtesy of Osiwa and powered by Africell, and self they listen we live from Radio Shalom 89.5 na Kwenadugu, Radio Malen 88.5 and Radio 1G 11.1 na Pujam District, Radio Kolente 90.0 na Cambia, Radio Mwa 105.5 na Kailaun District, and Voice of Karene 98.0 na Kamakwe Karene District. The program na Good Morning Salone. You can be part of one by we can send text message to the number 0779819881. 0779819881 are the number for send a text message and be part of the program, or go on our Facebook page and drop your comments.
We will continue with the program Good Morning Salone, and today we begin the program for look inside different supports them where organization them don't they give to government for the fight against the coronavirus, and self other sector supports them. Plenty people and organization them don't they give their own supports to government for fight the coronavirus. And one part of the organization there and the Salone People's Party Canada branch, who say they don't give 15 million loans to the National COVID-19 Emergency Response Center as their own support for help government for the fight against the coronavirus. Paul Doisoa, the chairman for the Sierra Leone People's Party Canada branch, he said this na couple where member them na the SLPP Canada branch been together for help government for this fight. Well, you know, Kabia been there na the EOC who say then people have been go give this couple to the Nakova.
From when the coronavirus don't come in the country, different organizations and people don't help government for fight the coronavirus. And one part of the organization now the Sierra Leone People's Party Canada branch, who say they don't go give 50 million loans to government for help fight the coronavirus fight. Paul Duaisoa. Now the chairman for the Salone People's Party Canada branch say this na the young way for support government for fight the coronavirus for making go down na the country.
Well, we came, government to talk to everybody for see how they can help for support this pandemic here. Fet am high. So we know say hygiene are one of the things that we affect, but also for fetching like this you need resources. So we try for put small money together. Times are hard for everybody because now some people in the also, some people in the house and they wait for see if they can go. But then get a small thing, so we put them together to come present them to the COVID fund. We give 15 million loans as we only to help.
In continue for call on Salone people for believe say the coronavirus day we making say Salone people for continue for they do all the thing them where body will command them. Don't tell them for do so that the virus no go scatter pass out in the zone of the country.
Well, my message to people for making them know say this thing not a thing for play with because the one that we don't lost family members they know. Now like the way Ebola be happen. If you don't lose somebody close to you, you feel say no more this now you see on television. But nothing way real. It only happen. We don't see other continent people in the die. Even in Salone, we don't see what people in people in the die. So not a thing for play with at all. All the necessary hygiene stuff and what the government don't say for they do, wash your hands, keep your place clean. All that thing they will need for doing. If you're sick, call 117. Go to hospital. Just take the care, not teach you 7 hours. Because in most cases, people can go to hospital get on late. So when you get any kind of symptoms, not take and say, oh, this is malaria, I can treat an hours, or this is typhoid. Try your best for seek medical attention. And the professional then will for tell you say this is malaria, this is typhoid. But when they seek care, they are not to think for play with.
Paul Duaisoa end up say the SLPP Canada branch will continue for support government so to this coronavirus done at the country. Where they receive them Kopoya on behalf of the National COVID-19 Emergency Response Center, NACOVAC, the Chief of Staff, Solomon Coker, tell thank you to the SLPP Canada branch for them kind of support here.
We want to acknowledge this gesture. We all know that running a response like this against a global pandemic is not an easy thing. It is resource intensive. So in that context, every little penny counts. So whatever gesture that is brought forward to us, we always deeply appreciate. This, of course, will be added to the kitty to ensure that we seek the empowerment that we actually need to run the response. We want to appreciate SLPP Canada for this gesture. And let me speak on behalf of the National Coordinator and the entire response staff on NACOVAC. We are deeply appreciative of this. And as you see now, we are making preparations immediately for it to be paid into the account, and then it shall be rolled out according to how we allocate to our various pillars to roll out the activities. Your name will be on the list of donations, and it will soon be published as an update for the general public, so that we also acknowledge you generally to the public for your intervention into this. So we want to thank you once again.
We make it end up call on other people and organizations them for continue for support government by the coronavirus fight within now na the country. As all this they be, Commoners Club for Bay College don't go give support to well body workman them. Na for Bay College Isolation Center, disable them na House of Jesus and other side them. With this support according to one senior member, Abdul Karim Koroma say, then give this support as part of their young contribution for face the coronavirus within now na the country.
As the name implies, commoners, we all be with self and not to like we not get disparity whether you rich or poor, we get an open policy. So we don't do similar things up from Bay College. So when we graduate to come down, we decide say well we continue also for help other people that will be in need of any support. We start off with for Bay College because they say charity begins at home. We get that holding facility, our medical center now for Bay College. We get patient them. We decide for go give rice, water, oil, tomato and other items them to the health workers them. So we they help government and other organizations where they support health workers. So we said now we don't support that they will give. We come now House of Jesus where they buy bus station. We give food items also to the disabled. We don't also come now this home where they na Ecowa Street. We don't can do donation of food items and face masks. The reason why we give food items and face masks not only for let them eat, but for let them also follow the procedures and the guidelines where the health workers and say for let them defeat coronavirus.
But waiting and fair not na the area them, outside them go give them support here. Abdul Karim again.
Firstly, let me start with Fobe College, that facility. We're very impressed with the statistics they give it. They say they don't record any fatality yet, and then no health worker, no, they also don't contact the virus, and they don't do each number of discharge. For me, I'm very impressed. The only thing no more, they also help for talk to government and other partners, and let them help for give support. And then to the disabled, I think they need more than even the food items that what they give. Their accommodation, I mean, they're very challenging. They live in cluster, and we talk about social distancing. And also, apart from food items, they also get other things that they need, like sanitary pad, hygienic items, Dettol, and other things. So they call on other organizations, when are goodwill organizations, and let us come and complement the effort.
Abdul Karim Koroma end up calling people na the isolation center and serve people na house of Jesus for listening to waiting well body work man them. Don't tell them so that the coronavirus sick no go scatter pass our in the son of the country. For Radio Democracy, the Kabia the reports.
The program na Good Morning Salone, we come to you from the Society for the Democracy 98.1 FM. We continue to look at more support to people as for support government in the fight against COVID-19. And now we go na Christ the King College Old Boys Association Koba, who say the member they don't give us computer and other thing them. We cost over 100 million euros to Christ the King College School Nabu. We said the president for Koba, Kwame Yankson, call on the teacher them for observe social distance and do other thing them. We when body will command them, tell them for do for tap the spread of coronavirus. Mange Masari gets more Igona reports.
Christ the King Old Boys Association, them being former for make people who pass through the school able for participate by the school in activity them and bring development na the school as the country they experience the coronavirus. Christ the King College Old Boys Association zongi rest, oil, computer and plenty other thing them to the school wey cost over 100 million euros. Kwame Yankson, na the president for Christ the King College Old Boys Association, give the reason why the association decide for give to the school.
We needed to push in the effects of COVID on our teachers, in as much as the students, the pupils are not in school, but their welfare also is very important to us. So we floated the project, and every member, we are here this afternoon to present to you what our membership provided for the teachers as well as our support staff. We have here 85 bags of rice, 85 gallons of oil, 75 face masks to prevent the COVID, customized CKC cover, and 17 computers and CPU monitors and all these accessories from Coba North America for the school.
Mohamed Bangali, now the vice president for Christ the King Old Boys Association, talk about the couple and the people where contribute seeing them where they give to the school.
Now very close to 100 million projects. Put the computer in cost, the face masks, the rest, and the oil. Well, this is now a project we will launch among ourselves. We say COVID don't come, we teachers and students, they teach. Not only happen in their lives. They just don't wait until school open. No classes, no nothing. So we think say we self can help government for this fete. And say try to begin at home. Where we come and support with school through the teachers. So we launched a teacher feeding project where CKC members, both home and abroad, contribute.
After we Ebido received the items, the principal for JSS, na Christ the King College, Michaels, tell Koba thank you for the items we then give.
We want to extend our thanks to our brothers and sisters, home and abroad. This is more than a widow's mite. We appreciate it so much. Today I'm really happy because with the exception of the national president, Mr. Kwame Yankson, but the rest of the membership of the national executive, they pass through my hands. Never underestimate a child. They are paying us what we have reaped, and we are proud enough to see them excel anywhere we go. As Kobians, we are everywhere, and we are doing our bit. We want to pray to God Almighty to continue to give us the strength, to continue to give our brothers the strength and courage. Let us fight for Christ the King. Some people will say, Kobians are talking big because we know the sky is our limit.
Michael end up call on Koba for they pay attention to the school as they get important role for play. Na Mange Bansari the report.
The program where they listen to Good Morning Salone, they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. 7:44 now the time from the studio clock, and we continue for look at support them where different people and organizations they give towards the fight against the coronavirus. Liberals Club for Abbey College don't give us oil, face mask, medical team them, plus copper and other things that will cost about 100 million euros to the National COVID-19 Emergency Response Center. Alhaji Abu Kome, na the National Coordinator for Liberals Elders Council. He said this na the young way for support government for help the virus na the country. Well, Kabia gets more and he gonna report.
Inside 1998, some group of young people in Nafrobe College University became together and formed the Liberals Club. Who said they don't train young man them for leadership, give scholarship Nafrobe College, and serve, give back to society. As part of the 22-year celebration, make the Liberals Club don't go getting for it money, medical team wey cost about 100 million loans to the National COVID-19 Emergency Response Center. Alhaji Abu Kome, na the National Coordinator for Liberals Elders Council, talk about the reason why Liberals Club decide for help government for the fight against the coronavirus.
At a time like this, when the world is plagued with COVID-19 pandemic, we recognize that it is not time for pleasure, but it is time for serious action to face the pressure our beloved country Sierra Leone is dealing with. On the occasion of our 22nd anniversary, we are taking the bold step to ask not what our country can do for us, but what we can do for our country. Consequently, we are using this period to respond to the call of the President, retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio, and the people of Sierra Leone to support the fight against COVID-19. We recognize the efforts of the government of Sierra Leone, frontline workers, development partners, and all Sierra Leoneans who have supported the fight against COVID-19 in diverse ways.
But waiting at the team them, where Liberals Club get to Nakova, Alhaji Abu Kome again.
Today, we are pleased to announce that we have deposited 35 million loans in the government of Sierra Leone COVID-19 account, and we are also providing the following items to the FBC and Yamsam community care centers. Medical drugs and other medical supplies to the amount of 18 million loans, food items and provisions to the amount of 30 million loans, sanitary and cleaning items amounting to 6 million loans, production of face masks 3 million loans, and of course other expenses which we have incurred in the process of this Liberals intervention to the amount of 8 million loans. At this moment, I want to say that this may look very small in the eyes of many, but we believe that in the fight against COVID-19, every little drop of water in the ocean makes a difference. We are also using this opportunity to recognize the efforts played by the burial team, and will be providing a little cash donation to them and food supplies as well. This total of 100 million loans COVID-19 intervention from Liberals has indeed come from a certain source.
Alhaji Abu Kome end up calling Salone people for wash their hand and do all the preventive measures them wey well body workman them don't put for make the coronavirus not scatter pass how in dey so, and self end up assure Nakovac say Liberals Club go continue for support government so say the coronavirus don't na the country. When him dey receive them food item here in the morning, the spokesperson for Nakovac, Solomon Jami, will tell thank you to Liberals Club and say this support where Liberals Club come with, then come with the right term.
Sincere thanks and appreciation to the Liberals Club, the Liberals Foundation now, and specifically to you, former president of the Frobe College Student Union, Alhaji Kume, someone from whom I personally drew a great deal of inspiration. The fact that you are involved in this is sufficient indication that you guys are in the very serious business of making very meaningful interventions. Your friends are the ones who will show up when they are needed, and that is exactly what the Liberals have done. We continue to walk the walk in the fight against coronavirus. We will not rest, and we believe that Liberals will strike this solidarity with us until our people do not only get the message, they don't only understand the message, but they have effected behavioral change. On behalf of retired Brigadier Kelly Conte and the entire team at Nakovac, and on behalf of the Frobe College Community Care Center and the Yams Farm community, we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts, Alhaji Kome and your organization, for this very timely and meaningful intervention. This will in no small measure try to address the significant gaps that have been defining this.
Solomon Jami will end up calling Salone people for believe say the coronavirus dey and say make them go dey continue for wash their hand and do all the thing them wey everybody workman dem don say so that the coronavirus no go scatter pass how e dey so na the country. For Radio Democracy, you know, Kabia the report.
We continue with the program Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We already bring the program come to you this Friday morning. My name is Khadija Bangura.
And me, Namusa Eskamara.
Well, as we tell you earlier from one part we headline them, today na the program where they look at the verification process where the Financial Intelligence Unit go begin for bureau and other microfinancial institutions them all over the country. Well, for can talk about this verification process, we get David Bobo, we the manager examination and compliance from the Financial Intelligence Unit. He there with me at the studio this morning. Good morning, Mr. Bobo, and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Radio Democracy. I'm happy for the with you.
All right. Well, under the Anti-Money Laundering and Combating Financial of Terrorism Act of 2012, Section 13 being states clearly the function them of the Financial Intelligence Unit, where some part them function they add and they provide institutional lead for implement national and international policy them for tap money laundering and financing terrorism them, and safe then they monitor inter-border movement them we get for do with large couple where people not supposed for work with, and safe them for provide education to the public and create awareness about money laundering and other terrorist financing activity them we according to that particular section there now the act now for ensure say salon no mix per money laundering and safe join other international policies them where salon be signatory to. Well, we go can look at the verification process going at the beginning for all microfinancial institution them and bureau them. But let we start for talk about the work of the FIU. Like I don't state earlier, I don't give a clue as to how una establish and the relevant section them of the act una the work with way set una up as an institution and how una for help for create awareness to people for let them know. With all these mandates una get, how best as an institution una not able for make the public aware say una they operate and some of una mandates than this.
Yeah, thank you very much, Khadija. I think I dey here today because we believe say when we give the people the knowledge as to what we do, they provide visibility to we serve as an institution, and we make let the people then also buy into what we do. So the FIU, they may set them up originally under the central bank. We be there under the banking supervision, but in line with the international standard, because all within the act, we draw the inspiration from the international standard, and one organization we set that standard is now we call the Financial Action Task Force. Then come up with a number of recommendations. Their recommendations then are 40. Each of the recommendations relate to a specific requirement. So under recommendation 29, it specifies how FIU for look like, how it for operate. So we being therefore now come up with an act in 2012, the act where you make mention of, the Anti-Money Laundering and Combating the Financing of Terrorism Act of 2012. We established the FIU and give them the powers and mandate for carry out, which is FIU for carry out, in line with this acceptable international standard where I talk about where FATF drop. So we now in summary, what we do basically, we now an authority established by government for coordinate the national effort in the fight against money laundering and terrorist financing. So we work with competent authorities. Where I say competent authorities, now other authorities government established, like law enforcement, like supervisory authorities, like we talk about the Bank of Australia, SLICOM, NMA. These are all supervisory authorities. So they all are competent authorities where they handle specific things and where the Anti-Money Laundering Act talk about. Then we also deal with the private sector. The private sector now then at the front line in trying for prevent money laundering and terrorist financing, like the banks. You know, before you get the embodied at the bank, certain requirements that they need for put in place when I would call the preventive measures. So they work with all the sectors they need. So we did in the middle of the regime for ensure say everybody playing your part for CC they not use this country for money laundering and terrorist financing.
So now we look at these two terms we mentioned, money laundering and terrorist financing. Somebody would like to know exactly what you talk about when you talk about money laundering.
Okay, well, money laundering basically mean if you acquire money through unlawful activity or what we call through dabaru means, you can want to let it appear to the public say really not so through then dabaru means you get and genuinely. So that process where you the employ for letting money look clean, now called laundry. It, I mean, we normal talk we say you launder something, meaning the wash them for let it appear clean to the public. You know, this emanates from the activity of long term in the 1920s. Now the U.S. with the activity of Al Capone, the one that we can read or we know how them mafia then they operate. Then we can see the thing that we the outside them mafia they get money, like gambling, alcohol business, prostitution. They be banned in other country, but because they be one for evade the law enforcement agencies, they be go create them laundromats, then laundry machines them all over. At that time, the America they use cash for able getting services then they. So what they do, they create a lot of laundromats within the US. Then waste people then when they get money from that laundromat now, then they still do then the alcohol sale, prostitution and gambling. Then they commingle the money and take and go to a bank. So when you go to a bank, I mean, you ask somebody who's pull this money, they say, well, and they do a laundry business. So that they this word, that they don't derive this word. So basically, what in a laundromat they be wash the dirty money where they get from their illegal activities where the law not be approved. So that's how the word come about money laundering. So,
Mr. Boba, when you look at the act of financing terrorism, it clearly go show say that the act for a particular set of person provide money to a group who consider themselves as terrorists or non-state actor them provide money for them to do the activity then. From where they set up the financial intelligence unit to now Nasaloya, as an institution are not able to identify any set of people who consider themselves as terrorists who involved into them financing activity there, or then get people from outside Salone where they transfer money through the means there to them.
No, I'm not gonna say we don't get specific people then we don't involve in terrorist financing. But what I go say is that we get a list where the UN they drop, where also other international organizations and they put together people the way they believe say their activity qualify for be people the way they support terrorist activities. Then list them they and we ensure say all reporting entities, banks now, insurance companies.
Salone don't ever appear that they list there?
No, Salone not appear, but now I tell you say Salone names they don't appear on the OFAC list. But I will tell you the difference. The UN list is mandatory because now list standard and the adopt under the United Nations, so it's binding on all member states. Member countries then get under the United Nations Resolution 1373, where say every country also get the right for develop a own list of people that we feel say their activity qualify as terrorists or people that way they support terrorists. So we get the OFAC list. With the OFAC list now the US the drum. Yeah, then get the own parameters the way they use for drop that list. They don't get universal application. We don't get a situation where people then way they do business in this country don't appear on that OFAC list. Then we can consider that list as well because we can advise them when they reporting entities them where they see names them of businesses or individuals where they OFAC list for treat them with some caution or for regard them as high risk customers. Not necessarily for implement the requirement because the requirement will say let you impose sanction and they will freeze their accounts, you know. But the UN list is a matter of must. If you appear on the UN designated list, we get no choice. We straight away implement the targeted financial sanctions we require for freeze your account and report to the UN and commence investigation.
If country they appear or country name they for money laundering and terrorism financing, what in that mean for a particular country we name appear? in that list?
Well, again, a whole lot of ramification for a country. If you appear as a country where they condone money laundering as a haven, you don't become a haven for criminality. Because as I say, money laundering and money where they get from criminal activities, then people then try for laundering. So for example, if Salone appear as a country where they condone money laundering, it basically means we don't become a haven for criminality. We go lost with standing internationally. It will affect investment, because sober investment, the people that will come and support government in terms of employment, in terms of for grow the economy, you don't go see them come. You go only the wind up with them criminal, then shady organizations them. So when you dey as a country then classify as country where the condone money laundering, it's not good for your reputation, it's not good for business, and it's not good for the standing of that country.
Right. Continue for the with the program. That's David Bobo, in a manager examination and compliance from the Financial Intelligence Unit, where they are this morning. We will can talk about verification and license process where FIU will begin do for Bureau and other microfinancial institutions them all over the country. But quickly, let me take this commercial break.
Salone Commercial Bank don't come with new banking products them for make life easy. With Million Online Bank and Million Mobile App, you can able for use Salone Link money transfer for send money to anybody elect you not get bank account. Transfer or receive money na the same bank or any other bank. Transfer money to person or office elect you not get the account number. Buy head salary, pay other bill them, and now get advanced salary. You don't need for worry again but almost money then you earn. Because you can able for pay for things the way you buy in a supermarket and other shop them with the quick response code payment. Yagbadon done for the boss man them. With Beyond Online Direct, you can upload salary, pay all your supplier them, sell forex to Salone Commercial Bank, and watch your account anytime. If you need the app, download them from Google Play Store or any Apple Store, or go to Salone Commercial Bank website www.slcb.com. Salone Commercial Bank, delivering value.
The program they listen to now, Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from the Society for a Democracy 98.1 FM. Inside the program, we continue to look at more issue. Outside the executive chair for the Produce Monitoring Board, Dr. James Bibi, don't say because of the coronavirus we did now the country, don't you see they're not able to raise the 10 billion loans we they use for gets every year, and they turn as overturned to government. Dr. James Bibi talked this inside one meeting we then go give about 250 bag rest them to farmer them na Kenima and other parts them na the country. As he say, then give them tea to farmer them because of the coronavirus within the country. You know, Kabia get more you gonna reports.
The coronavirus don't affect different institutions them where they can give government couple and one per their institution here. Now the Produce Monitoring Board, where from where the coronavirus come na the country, they know they export cashew, coffee, cocoa and other produce them where they can do. Where this make the executive chairman for the Produce Monitoring Board, Dr. James Bibi say, because of the coronavirus where they now na the country, they not go able to raise the 10 billion loans couple where they can give to government every year.
Which you don't raise from January to now, an office don't reach 2 billion even. Last year we raised closer to 10 billion for the whole year. This year I know they see that year. The effects are very clear. The resources we will get at this moment, we're not even able to get half of them. That they should say exportation nearly granted. The markets they know they for the product. As I just say, coffee not get exportation this year. The same thing for cashew. And because of the COVID-19, the oil palm self where people can export now that the small run through the borders. Coffee not get exportation this year. The same thing for cashew. Because of the COVID-19, the oil palm self where people can export now that the small run through the borders. You know they pass through the port. Exportation of produce fall very greatly. So where exportation fall, you know say this should say there is no market linkage and there is no market for we farmers. We go adversely affect them seriously. So now that make we the move for do then interventions and yeah, so farmers and not will get a huge impact.
Dr. James Bibi continues say The coronavirus self don't affect plenty for them farmer them where they can do them produce yam. We making say now for them reason yeah make the produce monitoring board. Don't go get 250 bag rest. So farmer them a Kenema, Kailang and different parts them na the country we cost over 100 million loans.
Well, we go give rice 250 bags to farmers across the country, but we distribute them from Kenema. We cost up to 100 million because we take that rice to the doorstep of every farmer, of all farmers we will target in this country. The purpose of this race really now for cushion some of the effect of the COVID-19 on the farmers, because recently we don't do a quick impact survey. We don't know some of the problems really affect farmers, and we also know that in respective of the fact say this now COVID-19 time like this from May to August to September, they can consider for be a hungry season where farmers can really need food for do underbrushing and other things. Now that even can involve them for do a lot of things like taking loans and an equivalent for their product.
In continue say after when the coronavirus go down, then go continue for give rest to farmer them during the rain season.
Apart from the COVID-19, we done the planner now with various ministries, especially Ministry of Finance, for see how we go to take off this burden of hunger during the rainy season from una, and that's go make some of una go left for the take loan and become so indebted to some of them exporters them, yeah. We can give una 1 bag of rice for 1 cocoa bag. So now this now the thing way with the plan for una. So now for no say this government we don't take agriculture very seriously.
Dr. James Bibi end up call on farmer them for continue for wash their hand and do all the preventive measures them we well body workman and don't say for make the coronavirus no go scatter pass how in the son of the country. Farmer them will benefit from this support being get this for sale.
Me na Hagia Amnata Kalon. Me na the chair lady for this organization when I Lilema Farmers Association. So I'm so glad the day when they call me for give me food for me workers for this COVID-19. They give me 16 bags of rice. I'll be over happy for that gift way they give me because I go call her as gift.
Me na Patrick Abu Mansare of the Kola Nut Producers Association. The Eastern region they operate. They operate in 2 districts in the Eastern region, the Kailang district and the Kenema district. This supply where they can give you this trip here to we farmer there. Now the appropriate time where they can give you this supply. We're glad for her, and because this is the season where hunger day and this COVID-19 don't come.
Then farmer end up thank you to the government of Salone through produce monitoring board and self say make government not going to forget them as the coronavirus don't affect them bad one. For Radio Democracy, you know Kabia the reports.
We continue with the program Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We still get David M. Bobo, we now the Examination and Compliance Manager from the Financial Intelligence Unit. There this morning, where they can look at the verification and license process where FIU go begin do for people we want for open bureau and other financial and other microfinancial institutions them all over the country. Now, Mr. Bobo, let's look at the issue where you there for when they begin for do verification process for people we want for open bureau and other financial institutions them. But when you look at the amended Act of 2019, where the Bank of Salone they use, and you look at ownership, the act to establish owner, going into this verification process, somebody will not understand exactly what you want for do go feel like say conflicts go there between the FIU and the Bank of Salone. Before we look at how the process get for Talek, just explain let people understand the difference una your role where una they play now this process we go different from the Bank of Salone. We get the mandate according to the Act for give license to bureau and other financial institutions then.
Yeah, well, thank you, Khadija. Let's just put the record straight. We not to begin with the beginning. We don't already reach an understanding and we don't commence this process since last year. Waiting we they do for complement, waiting BSL they do for the ensure say only people that we fit and proper, and the money that we would feel say money we clean enter into the financial services sector. Now that support they would provide to the BSL. We they focus on the kind of money we want for bring into that business day. because all over the world, financial services now one of the most regulated, because if you allow people them way of shady background for coming to that sector, they help business, because financial services are a major backbone to private sector growth and development. So you have to make sure you gather space there, so that only people then will really fit and proper in terms of the standing, the background records, and also the money that they bring come inside, it really not tainted. So what will they do? And it provided our own law, section 38, subsection 1 provides if anybody want for engage in over-the-counter transactions, all right, transactions will involve where somebody go give money, they use exchange money, like where bureau they do, microfinance, banks, all they do. Before you commence that business, you get for declare your activity and the purpose for which you intend for take the license to the FIU, and also provides the kind funds where you want for use into that business, also you pull up the source. So we focus on the verification of the source of the funds. If you say you pull that money from an existing business, we want to know that existing business, whether it established by law, or whether the kind businesses, the kind activities that they do, not to unlawful activity, from whose side they get the money. Because that is very important. If you bring tainted funds into the financial services and the intention are for just laundering, then we can't take that business thing. You could just come with the intention for wash the money and move out. And what we want people then will go bring stable investment, particularly into the financial services sector. So now they will complement the role of Banco Salone. We're not in conflict at all, and I think they're very appreciative of what in the FIU they do, because it helps them also reach a determination, say this person now fit and proper for GI license. So we know the GI license, but we take part of the process for ensure we give them comfort. See the funds where this person intend for bring come, now funds were not tainted.
Talking about background check to financial institutions we want to operate in a salon, somebody go like for know how una go able to do that, so I get the might if a company they come up for Europe, for example, one can establish now how una they do that background check for no say the kind of thing where they can do illegal, any source of money legal.
Oh, fine. We get a standard operating procedure where they guide we for carry out this mandate we provided in law. And the standard operating procedure basically requires when you approach the central bank for license, then they issue you your own form where you set out one whether are the beneficial owners of that business, all right, or the bureau where you are established, or the microfinance where you are established. Then you tell me waiting at the share capital or waiting at the what you said, and then they indicate who side them pull the money or who side they intend for pull the money for put by that business. Then we commence with vetting process. If the who side they pull the money now outside the jurisdiction, we can contact with counterparts them, all right, for let them provide we of try for verify the information with that person on the way. Based on them feedbacks that I would get from them side the way they reach out for do with due diligence, then we can provide information to the BSL whether for carry on for issue license or not, based on the results they get out of the vetting process they will get. So we do it for both within the country and outside the country, depending on whose side you tell we say the source of the money they come out.
Mr. Bobo, you say I don't begin the verification process. Whose particular stage where FIU go reach after all I don't gather all una information with una counterparts them na other country them, where una go make the decision and advise the Bank of Salone say this particular person or group will want to open a bureau or microfinancial institution, if they get in money, the source of an income na a legit way, and una supposed for gam a license.
Well, as I tell you, I will just begin to talk about the SOP, the standard operating procedure, inform we at what stage would they get back. The stage now, once you don't forward with the application and then supporting documents, the registration with the Corporate Affairs Commission, you get your tax identification number, because it's important for them. We do say once you begin operate, you go begin pay taxes to the government. You get your NACIT clearance, and then you provide with that with application for who side you go fill out the beneficial owner and who side then they pull the money. Then we begin with process. When we don't collect all the information for verify, the information we don't give it, because we dey do due diligence and everything wey they provide we for ensure say wetin you tell we is correct.
How much interest people they don't show na this process?
Well, I will give you an indication. This year alone, we don't get up to 32 application. We don't process as at last week. We don't process up to 20, and we don't give feedback to the BSL.
Am I getting targeted numbers saying that this one the bank give license to?
No, when I BSL law will get them right. BSL now then get the sole mandate for licensed institution. That is their space. We just they complement what they do. So we know we can't give them target. Now they know how they want to let the financial sector grow.
But if I collaborative process, then make I ask, when they work hand in hand with the Bank of Salone, when they for source information, try for look at the source where them people are they get their money for ensure say on a tap money laundering or combat any other thing we get for do with financing terrorism. And then they make us say if the coordination with between owner and the bank, or they don't say okay, now a specific number one for give license to this particular year.
No, we not reach that determination yet, and the reason why we not go do that because already we don't get problem with people that we operate informally, and we don't they make effort jointly for CCA. Let we try for encourage them people that for come out from the informal sector. As we all know, we don't get a situation where even dollar boys then they operate right in front of the central bank. We don't send a very good image about regulation and seriousness of supervision for the country. So we try for encourage. So we're not going to begin put caps now this number of people that we want for give license. I think the BSF not even consider that. So we just collaborate for ensure say people then we get genuine couple and people that we fit and proper, but then we get license for carry out that business operationally.
Okay, in name na David Bobo, manager examination and compliance na the financial intelligence unit. Continue for the week, we will come back to you. We will go for a short break.
Better don't come. A Union Trust Bank again. Union Salone Banco. Union Trust Bank get plenty product and service there for you. You must get waiting you want to go better. Let me savings account, ide. Current account, ide. Fixed deposit account, ide. Credit facility, ide. All for you. Me and you. Union Trust Bank Salone for me and you. It's future savings account, ide. School fees savings account, ide. Pay advance salary scheme there. We branch and they all of us Salone. Boko no kelena, we de. Kabala maboko kakambia, we de. Jala free town don't sa, we de. And my legacy one. Me and you. Union Trust Bank, me and you. Union Trust Bank, Union Trust Bank Salone for me and you. Union Salone Banco. Union Trust Banco.
Union Trust Bank, empowering Sierra Leonean businesses. Salone get in first corona case March 31, 2020. And from that time to now, plenty people don't get this sick. But plenty people say so don't well from the sick. After we clear them go to treatment center and take good care of them. But the sick still in at the country.
Plenty people get message them where they can talk, and some of them message they are not even be true. Now that make Radio Democracy with support from Usiwa, they bring to you special Corona update program. Usa you go to get accurate information for the coronavirus na the country.
This program going to be every Wednesday, 12 to 1 o'clock afternoon.
And Master Sabi people from the well body sector and other people themselves go there for tell you body sick.
We continue with the program Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM. 18 minutes past the hour, 8 o'clock, now the time for studio clock. We were bring the program come to you this morning, my name is Khadija Bangura.
And me, Musa Eskamara.
We look at more issues than the program this morning, and we take one by headlines to read them outside the police command officer commanding. Now the New Englandville police station Superintendent Issa Kamara say police don't get complaints say bad people them they attack, stab and thief people na Hillcourt Road during the rush hour then before the 9 o'clock next coffee order time. Superintendent Kamara talk this way if they talk about the complaint them where he say they don't get for sake of the incident here where they happen na the Hillcourt Road this BNT. Musa S. Kamara gets more.
I been commode St. Mary on the way returning home now. By G Gates Point.
One Alaji Kamara, when a bike man, they explain a experience on June 16. Usa say 2 people be attack him and go with him bike and damage and bad one.
So by then we they try for talisman. The other one now says you don't know we go. The other one hook me on my neck. By then I wear the helmet and lock under my neck. Then prime me, they bend me neck now, turn me neck so. Me they try for defend the bike and they try for remove myself now the hand and not able. This one way team up they whap me now on my side there and kick me, then hold me, then they get me to me na the gutter. But by then I don't unconscious because the way they bend me neck, he pull sound behind me back. So I'm unconscious now. What grab now? They try for come inside the gutter. Then guy the bike go there all two. Luckily one must come away they can meet me on the point. And then I collects me now, can left me in a police station, when an Englandville police station. So I'm money, they say I go Connaught Hospital. So I be there Connaught now for the past 2 days, they take treatment. Can't go the bike, I don't get no way for the bike. And they feel upset, and they feel bad, and then they feel fine. Well, when I go, they say I for one X3, and now the morning now they try for shot, I go do the X3.
The issue about attack na the Hillcourt Road. Now one way the police officer commanding the New Englandville Police Division, Superintendent Issa Kamara say they don't get complaint boards.
On 2 occasions, I don't get complaint for saying they attack people in another Hillcourt Road, particularly another G-Gate area, they attack people in the This incident normally occur during the rush hour leading to the curfew, leading to 9 p.m. 9 incident can happen. So what we decide for as a security body, what agreement with the military and the police, that during that particular time, that rush hour day from 7 to 9 particularly, we will patrol frequently in that area day. So that they will not decide.
But according to Superintendent Issa Kamara, police they suspect young man them na the G-Gate scrapyard as people where they be in there attack here.
I invite the key stakeholders then that G-Gate area, that Hillcourt area there. Because that they then say this incident will take place. With security source, the intelligence that did the incident, that did the incident here to take place. So I invite most of the guys that when they deal with that scrap people part, when that G-Gate area then come. Then I invite, as I rightly tell you, say, I invite both the military and the police commander them, when are they in charge of this mail correction and reintegration center and Adobe Kenyatta, with them say, but during this meeting,
for sake of this allegation, I've been gone at the G-Gate scrapyard and meet with the chairman, Joseph Kalom, we deny this allegation.
G-Gate, here in a community where they do business. For young men and young people that they will describe them or there. Now they do business day, we know they participative business. Yes, some of we now we they sleep, some of we about there. Yes, we get people then there, but DBN we confuse that don't they now. Yes, they attack people them. When they attack them, as they say that G-Gate. And we want a young man they bokuna. We na business.
Joseph Kalon continue say, then as young people na this area ready for work with policeman them. For CC, then kind here stop na this community.
Even one major way they na special courts when the commander they we tell all this. I'm say we want we go even pay OSD we go the able guide area if na by month or they buy fuel. Because we na business, let the bad name, let we avoid the bad name. We say go support, let we get security because it can't go they dark. When next can all man they go. That rush hour all man they go, they begin attack people there. And we don't clear they go that station now, they say G-Gate, it can't go. And G-Gates are we famous. So one government give security in this environment here, especially in control, they patrol there. They do the clean and net come, let they work out, let they see if that G-Gate man out there for bad. Anybody where they will let go jail.
But as the chairman na the G-Gate scrapyard, they assure police say they are ready for work with them. The officer commanding the New Englandville police station, Superintendent Issa Kamara, say police no go get option but for police scrapyard na this area if this kind thing continue for be na the Hill Court Road. For the Society for Radio Democracy, Musa S. Kamara. The program Good Morning Salone they continue. We continue for look at more issues. We said the Minister of Health and Sanitation, Professor Alpha Uri, say the regional hospital them na the country no get intensive care unit. As he say, na cannot no more get intensive care unit. Professor Alpha Uri talk this inside one presentation we then do to the Minister of Health and Sanitation and the Minister of Technical and Higher Education, but one local ventilator and sanitizer where some students them na the engineering department Frobe College. Frobe College students them na College of Medicine make this BNTM. Mange Mansari get more Igona reports.
Plenty people don dey ask question if na blackboard engineers dem dey na Frobe College. For answer this question wey people don dey ask but the engineer dem make students dem na Frobe College make ventilator and hand sanitizer for help fight against the coronavirus, for help reduce the way how the country dey suffer from ventilator dem. Alfred Mbayo na the group leader and the 7 students them wey make the ventilator and an engineering students na Frobe College explain the idea behind the ventilator.
So the very first time we record the first case, me of course when I'm the leader, let me first get the inspiration as to what exactly we said go do as students them will fight against the COVID-19. So we make for understand say ventilators are so expensive and so crucial in the fight against COVID-19. So of course I thought and fit say we need for develop ventilators. So I try to get a team, meet me faculty, students them, some of them will cooperate and even try to meet students them from other faculties and across the University of Salone. Of course we get students them from commerce, we get students them of course from FBC, physics department, we even get of course engineering and major.
Alfred Mbayo talk about the quality then where the ventilator get.
Leon Vent actually na a very efficient device. Of Leon Vent na a pressure controlled ventilator. Of course they control also the expiration of pressure. That is just the deliverance of the quantity of air or oxygen we deliver to the patient. Leon Vent also of course they deal with oxygen where are available, that is high flow oxygen from the ICU, or you can use oxygen concentrator, or you can even use oxygen cylinder if any one of them are available. But should in case oxygen not available, Leon vents able for use room air. Of course, room air get 21% of oxygen. The power part of the able for use supply from the mains when available. During that time, it is charging internal batteries them. If power not available, Leon vents able for use in internal batteries without any power supply at all. Now standalone ventilator.
Umar Fodetue na student na College of Medicine wey na the head and the students them where they make the sanitizer say they make the sanitizer as way for protect Salone people may they not get the coronavirus.
Being sanitizer on board because prevention is better than cure, and we find out that there are no vaccine, there are no drugs, and only hand hygiene are one of the best way for prevent yourself against the COVID-19 with other ways like face masks and everything. But the sanitizers are skyrocketed in the country, so we still less produce because it's part of our training for up in the fight of COVID-19. The quality of the sanitizer is so good because we do both in-process and end-process testing thanks to the Pharmacy Board of Sierra Leone and the guide and also the Pharmaceutical Society of Sierra Leone who come on board for supervisory. So it's very good, it's 80% ethanol, and we get other ingredients like I do during the presentation where they help for prevent skin leaching and also help in the integrity of the sanitizer when the hydrogen peroxide and the glycerol also.
Professor Alpha Uri, now the Minister of Health and Sanitation, say the regional hospital then no get intensive care unit as he say now one the country gets when at the Connaught Hospital we make it say we then ventilator the year where they don't make go help for make them open intensive care them. Who say they go they use them ventilator the year?
This country had only one ICU entity, that's at Connaught. Yeah, we do not have clear-cut ICUs in all regional hospitals. We must do so now. You should have in all what is called community health centers, of which we have 300 of those. Those are supposed to also lead in reproductive, maternal, and child health care. You cannot do so without ventilator. They have in particular something they call a CPAP, which is the continuous positive airway pressure type of ventilator. I do not know if we can modify this to be able to do that, but this is critical in child care.
Professor Iyabakima, now the Minister of Technical and Higher Education, say with this ventilator, where the students then don't make, don't just say, not to the theory no more where they can give the students them, but now the students don't begin practicalize the things them where they don't they teach them.
The young people are now telling us that we are not going to be content with the material that you put on the blackboard or the chapter you Xerox and give it to us 2 weeks before exam as a full semester of lectures. They are now demonstrating that they can actually go beyond what you have taught them. Bring 2 different sets of people, bring in groups, bring in ventilators, another group bring in sanitizers. Then we need to move on. We need to challenge property rights. And if you tell me how much this is going to cost, we have a NGO called Village Medical Project, and we have a clinic in my village. I'm going to ask my guys in the US to buy one, and I think you there you go and demonstrate to the staff, and they can save lives.
Professor Iyabakima end up call on students them for they make see them where the country self go benefit for radio democracy. Mange Mansaye the report.
They causing confusion.
But this confuse me, boo. Look where Uncle Nat in Wall Solid. Look in block them where them beat for them, where they save solid, and at the same amount of cement and sand then they use for beat me on. But look what in the happen. Me wall down for them, all the block they all don't scatter. It like say some kind magic they behind this. You want know the magic behind this? Now the superior quality, extra strong, extra life and extra yield cement where are the use, and that's not Dangote 3X Portland limestone cement. Dangote cement na the highest grade cement in the country. When a 42.5 R grade cement, when no one day come na this country, and a one of the highest grade pan cement where you go get na the wall. Where you want you concrete, wall and block solid, use Dangote 42.5 R cement, you no go regret them. You go get Dangote 42.5 R cement na all the sharp and building material store na the one whole country.
Call 117 and it's same you begin feel fever.
The coronavirus dey na salon now. Na sick, we don't kill plenty people in the world. But if you do wetin well body will command them, they say make you do. And self report quick. If you fear not say you get sign or any person near you don't get same sign them, it's possible for let the person well.
The well body workman say for let the sickness scatter all sign at the country. If you don't get nothing for go do not eat, sit down na house.
Go dey wash your hand fast with soap and water, or you use hand sanitizer, so that the tumbu go die if you don't can your hand.
When you dey waka, let for go dey touch them wall and then railing them, because you no go know that don't touch them.
Not forget, call 117 if you get person wey sick na you host or you community.
And Osiwa support radio democracy for bring this message to you.
Alright, we continue with the program. Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We still get David Bobo at the studio, when at the manager examination and compliance from the Financial Intelligence Unit. There this morning, we they talk about verification process where they don't begin for give license to people who want for open bureau and other microfinancial institutions them all over the country. When they come back to you, Mr. Bobo, earlier we be explaining say we are not able to receive but 32 application them. When I don't process about 20, women say we still get 12 outstanding application them for look inside. Then the 20 application them we una done for process. The people that we apply for open bureau and other financial institution them, they're able for meet some thing them way una they look for.
Well, most of them able to meet, but now we can tell you specifically that this person meets me. But generally, we they all go through the same vetting process, and we don't give with feedback, be it negative or positive, to the Banco Salone. So
wetin na be the specific things them way una dey look for during the vetting process of the application there?
Basically, we prime focus the source of funds. We dey look at the ownership. We also dey look at the funds inside the pull am. And if we not satisfied, say that funds they not get any but, then we go tell the BSL say no, we not agree. However, if we find out say the funds they're not tainted, meaning they not get any issues, then we can give the go ahead to BSL. So the primary focus now the funds where you want for put into the business, and you therefore come out very clear, because the form provide for that. And they say, if for example na personal income you want for put into, how you get that personal in be employment, we want for look at your employment records, whether you go not able try for amass that amount of money the way you want for put into that business thing. So we give now with primary focus really na the source of funds.
You talk about rigorous process for vets a company or a microfinance institution or somebody who can do financial business na salon, and one of them thing na for ensure say they're sustainable and able to stay. But when you look back to the issue of wealth builders, somebody go say what thing really go wrong now where the financial intelligence unit within operation we get issues like that.
Well, wealth builders been operate illegally. I'm not really one for. I mean, you not get space in this discourse this morning. Wealth builders.
We not look at wealth builders per se, but
Yeah.
we look at the financial intelligence units. Then rule now. Una the register other one. Then the confidence in the people say, "But this then been the way this happen."
No, well, as I tell you, if they operate illegally, one, the law not sabi in the first place. All right. Wealth builders, they set them up like a pyramid scheme, where then they thrive on the greed of people. Then, you know, somebody they tell you say bring 500,000 in 2 weeks, we'll go give you 50% interest. We're not realistic, because you define us say who shall eager for invest that money they for let you able pay that kind of returns on that percentage returns on that money they. So basically, they be just the con the people they no more for believing something way not realistic, and over time when they say pyramid scheme, you find out say the funds they being big as they grow and they can't small, because the interest and the promise on their money then they don't ever get them for pay, you know. Then the scheme go collapse. Now that they basically happen with wealth builders. So they were not operating legally. If you operate legally, apart from the market entry vetting what they do, we they join hand with BSL for the check on them on that institutions and they for comply with BSL requirement as well as anti-money laundering requirement. So a continuous process in terms of supervision.
So what's the role of the financial intelligence units in situations like that where people in the run financial institutions illegally?
Well, at that time we've been work together with other law enforcement agencies for get at the bottom of what will happen with wealth builders.
No, I mean now.
Now,
yes.
Well, if you operate illegally, I believe say the law enforcement, if we find out, we go do we intelligence, we go put together an intelligence and share around with the competent authority, if not the police or whatever law enforcement we for supposed for take action. We can even share intelligence with BSL, say this thing they go on, when I need for do this. So now that way they do.
Mr. Bobo, when you look at the application window for people who want for open bureau or microfinancial institution, them now one way open application and can come in anytime. In as much as FIU and the bank go on for say, oh, we no want for close any institution, we get interest for can invest in the financial sector. But one go and say we already get existing institution like this, bureau and microfinance institution them. They get challenges because I remember some time back when I begin for do raid with the Bank of Salone for go clamp down people who they operate illegally. And when I continue for the bank continue for the give license. You know, feel like say this now more door when they open for people them for begin put on illegal activities the way camp and bureau and microfinancing institution them.
No, to the contrary, I believe say we they try for create the space for let people them can operate legally, because we see already the vast number of young people there outside na the street day where they change money. That is the work. That is the activity of a bureau. So now we want for encourage them say come let you take license, let we know say you dey exist, and we go able to assist you for regulate you, so that one, nobody know we can't use you for the purpose of money laundering and or terrorist financing.
If even the open MBO there and they're not able for sustain them, because then same people there, so where you they talk about the dollar boys where they tap na street, they change them dollar them, which them then self get concerned them where they're not comfortable for go sit down na an office, then prefer them this on a street. So on they continue for give license to people them where maybe then just they operate within few months, then close down, they're not able for sustain them. That's not the question why they ask if we not take that into consideration.
When I make we need we get for step up again. I make we get an existing MOU now with the central bank. We get for ensure say we continue for monitor the activities of the one they hold the G license. As we speak, since last year the one that all we don't give license, we the FIU, we don't comment, we made a spot check on them for see who side whether they don't set up, whether they operate, whether they get they don't lay out the things they need for let them put in place for let them operate so that they go meet all we requirements them. We requirement for ensure say one, them vet them customers them, then secondly they're able to provide reports them we require. So we dey go run a spot check for see one who side and they whether within are the structures where they don't put in place for the operations. We look at them and advise them. So this again for be a continuous engagement with them. We're not just do the licensing and left them to their own devices for operate. We ensure say we monitor and which side gaps then we try to identify and let them address them. So that will make them sustainable going forward.
How often una can check do this kind check?
We get annual check for existing one day. We get annual check what they do on them. But we can also do what we call ad hoc if we are anything. Because as an intelligence agency, somebody who can give you a lead say, what I need for check or something to go on yonder. So sometimes we can do just a spot check as necessary. But we get an annual program who can cover our financial sector.
On I get records of all the bureaus them where they operate at the country.
We get records of all the bureaus and licensed by the central bank, yes.
How about the one them where they exist but they not get license?
Well, we get few intelligence on people that they operate illegally, that the system, and I think we don't get a number of meetings at the high level of security structure for give we own views them in terms of the implication for that and what we need for do collectively, not only the FIU, but also other competent authorities them where they're supposed to take action.
Based on the intelligence their owner can get, now that it make una begin some raiding exercise some months back. Usai una been go na some particular location them, for example, Dalomli Street area. Also una go discover people them within into their activities there, but not get the authorized license for operate. How far una don't go with the investigation then they, and how una don't try for people to stop to some of the issues then they, because when you look at una work now some of them things then they una they try for stop na the country.
Well, FIU not they partake in a field investigation or waiting with them when our intelligence agency. When we get the intelligence, we pass them on to the appropriate agency for operationalize them, so it can be the police. So when then do the police do them written within the purview of the police for carry out that investigation we will only provide support. For example, if the people then get the financial profile, we want for provide them, we will aid the investigation, but we not go with we not go take part in field raid or investigation. We not purely an administrative FIU. We are intelligence with the process and pass them for aid law enforcement agencies.
Okay, the financial intelligence units always also they talk about mutual evaluation. What exactly when they talk about now?
Well, when I've been start just now, I've been tell the public say we get international standard. We set out how we for carry on the fight against money laundering and terrorist financing. And the one way set up this standard, now one financial action task force, we come up with what we call 40 recommendations. Each of them recommendations they speak to a specific issues then, Then we want to know whether you get law where you put in place for able for money laundering and trust financing. They want to see whether you get institutions like the FIU, you get a supervisory institution like the central bank, where will give effect to then laws then they. So the mutual evaluation, that a process where the FATF put in place for assess countries them, how best then they comply with the standards then they. And the mutual evaluation, it consists of two interrelated components. The first component, what we call technical compliance component. The technical compliance component, basically they look at, you get the right laws then. For example, you don't able criminalize all the predicate offenses to money laundering. Because offenses then they, where you go commit, where you the right process. They want and they for designated as predicates to money laundering. So right now, internationally, you get 21 standard predicate offenses, where as a matter of must, you for identify them or you for recognize them as predicate offenses. That is now offenses from which you get process, or then you able launder. All right, corruption, the human trafficking, the tax evasion, the whole lot of crimes that we know. Generally, outside people then they get big money. And we then we launder. These are the things that we then they look at. Then they want to see whether the institution the way they establish the FIU, we get the powers then with FIU forget for able doing work. The police get the powers them way they need for prosecute. You know, all of that need come under technical compliance. But again, the most important component of this assessment now the effectiveness. Enough forget law or forget an institution. They want to see how then law and the institution they actually interact for achieve the desired set of outcome, meaning when are able to protect the integrity of the financial sector and the country, because that's the whole broad objective of the fight against money laundering they about.
Okay, you don't talk plenty under the mutual evaluation, and one thing we mentioned that the strength of institutions them way then set up for ensuring they able enforce the law against money laundering and anti-terrorism. When you look at the FIU, Salone and partners them, you think so when I get that capacity and when I get the available laws them for feds then
Yeah, to the extent where you look at the model of FIU we get, we an administrative model. Making administrative model, meaning we not get strict powers of police, like for investigate, arrest, and anything. You can get other countries that can able adopt the law enforcement type model, FIU, where you could get not only powers for collect information and share with law enforcement, but you still get law enforcement powers then. Meaning you can arrest, you can go search, then you get the prosecutorial FIU. We go get all the power like where the ACC gets. ACC self begin with that kind of model where we don't start so it depends if you judge we within the context of the model of FIU who they use. In terms of the model of FIU who they use, yes, we get all the powers because we get powers for request information, we get powers for go into certain institution and able request them for giving information, and we also get powers for share information with other countries and request information from other countries. So as far as administrative model of FIU concerned, we get the required powers then.
Then we look at quickly one very important mandate we get we now for monitor border movements them for CC people not involved into money laundering and other terrorist financing activity them, gather intelligence and give the law enforcement agency them we go help them with the investigation them. And then border area now one way plenty people believe say issues them of such nature they happen. How best not only work in terms of information gathering for help the law enforcement body then?
Yeah, well, in terms of cross-border declaration of currencies and negotiable bearer instruments, the law be identify the customs NRA as the relevant authority. Even though the FIU they part of the process for make sure say we all work together and try to put some mechanism in place for that need. But in terms of responsibility for check on them people that way they go, where they come into a country and go out of the country, we get money for declare. Now customs get that responsibility. We they work with them for ensure say one, they're able get a database of all the information they collect, and they can share the information they do with you on a periodic basis. Now, one of the information that they can use for ensure so we provide intelligence to law enforcement. So then structure don't in place. There are a few challenges though, because we can get some people then they because of the challenges we got with the porosity of the borders, they're not able to on top of the game for NCC. Everybody will go out of this country go through that declaration process. But indeed, we have a mechanism, and we don't give that responsibility there to Customs NRA for ensure they implement the currency declaration at point of entry.
The verification process we una dey do for give license to people we want for open bureaus and other one them. Now a market, especially all gets for do with bureau. Now one way plenty people believe say na international bureaus them na then don't take the limelight where it come na salon where people and they do bureau and all. And the boys them working in the streets for the change dollar, they get a very stiff competition in the vetting of their application process there. So una think about the local content policy, empowering the local people where it can advice for let the bank order the bank go give license to.
Well, I'm not going to comment on that. As I say, what would they do now? Support with the support within BSL they do. The licensing process itself, now BSL the superintendent.
But you say on the advice as to order eligible for get license.
Yeah, that's the one that we apply. We know the go tell BSL beforehand say okay, now then category of people that would apply, now then we go consider.
Now the same question that they ask you, Mr. Bobo, during the vetting of the application process when they take into consideration the area of the local content, empowering the local them, we may begin intention for come into this business.
When you apply for the license, of course, the licensing it gets permissible activities. If you want for engage in international remittances, you get for indicate and pay license to BSL, meaning you get the muscle for compete with the one day. You know, if you want for engage in only spot transactions, meaning you just want for the buy and sell dollars, now there are two other license than the. But when you want for engage in remittances, like you want for the transfer money, you get for go apply for it. And then therefore say you get the capacity, you get what it take for let you able to do that, then they give you license. But we not look at say okay, let we just ensure say that only locals then go they do that kind of activity here. Because I mean you want for liberalize the sector for ensure say people that we really able to do within that particular license they require, and then you go bring them into that business state. So you know the begin categorize it well.
You want for liberalize the sector, but again, on for take into consideration the existing policy already we talk about empowering the locals them, especially if they want for come into businesses, give them create the enabling environment for them. Most of them small businesses there, so then startup capital knocking too encouraging as to them foreign company then they will get huge capital for can compete.
Well, I make quick advice then you can start off with your capacity there. For example, spot transaction is very easy. You can start with small money. Then in a way posting out in dollar, you change, or euro, or pounds, you change to leon or vice versa. So then in a easy for establish. So you they look at what you get as a capital, and then you know say this one I will able to compete here and do them. So which I can provide that advice to you, of course. I think BSL said in a position for advice. If you don't apply for license, you then say you not get the capacity for operating, then can advise you why not just focus on spot transaction rather than going to remittance.
So now we look at the financial institutions them or intending one that we don't apply to now. We get any local companies among?
Yeah, we get quite a lot. The most, in fact, I will tell you, say 80% of the one there, 80-90%. I not tell you the exact figure of it now, but 80 to 90% by we assessment are all local companies. Then we do apply for set up microfinance as well as bureau de change.
Okay, in David Bobo, manager examination and compliance na the financial intelligence unit. Una don't they send una text message them on the numbers 0779819181 and also on our Facebook page. Khadija.
This one I go read for Mohammed Kamal on our Facebook page. They say before the Dollar Boys were kicked out, we have few Afro international offices in Freetown, but now they are almost every major street in Freetown. Sometimes you can see 2 to 3 offices in one street.
This one on the story we will run for Ilcott. This one's a Good Morning Radio 98.1. Government should try and lift this rush hour. Some of us are tired.
This one they say, Mr. Bobo, what is your advice to young people that are thinking or already doing money laundering activities in Sierra Leone for them to stop? It comes from Kalamuna Passival State.
This one said the dollar guys have their license and still chase customers along the street. Nothing wrong with that.
This one they say, hello Mr. Bobo, don't you think you need to publicly acknowledge the capacity support you have been and continue to receive from the U.S. Department of Treasury, coordinated by the U.S. Embassy in Freetown?
This one says, Mr. Bobo, how can you call the Bitcoin people who run away with over billions of Sierra Leoneans' money?
This one they say the role of the FIU should be proactive, not reactive. Background checks should be conducted on these entities even before establishment. The modes of operation should be properly understood and must fall within the legal framework. They come out from Tony Hans.
This one on the ventilator stories, Mustafa Abdullah Kago on Facebook say, good one, Mr. Minister and the medical students of the University of Sierra Leone, FBS and Commerce. This is how always it should be. The ministry should always link up with the university students to expand their knowledge and put their academic work practically. I wish also the other business ministries and MDAs affiliate with IPAM.
This one they say, hi Radio D, please ask the FIU man about the Lebanese man who tried to smuggle forex out of the country. Let him explain. Well, from their messages then they can now to Mr. Bobo for a respond to some of the concern them with people don't send at the program. Mr. Bobo.
Yeah, thank you very much, Khadija. I will start with the first text where they talk about the expansion of the activity of one particular bureau, Winner Afro International. I believe it is within the right. While once you establish a bureau, and if you want to expand, you get back to BSL, say you want for branch out to ABCD, then they can give you permission for go ahead. So an office here within, then they do anything illegal. But in the event, if the public get anything about the operation of a bureau institution where it is contrary to law, then can make let we know, we go look into them. But as it stands now, we not get any evidence of that because of the expansion. The other text that they talk about what I may advise to young people them we want for engage in money laundering. Of course, I don't tell when I say money laundering unlawful, something way illegal, and now we get law we criminalize them. So with my advice to young people is that I mean do allow stay on the right side of the law. Let we try for work hard. And I believe say the only means to success is hard work and commitment to the things that we sabi we will make you what you want for be in life. So I not believe say when you engage in criminal activities for let you make money, I believe say that the good thing. We don't see a lot of examples them people then we don't dwell in criminality. At the end of the day, they either end up in jail or then ruin their life because they can get potential, but they don't want to rely on that potential, but they want to live through fluke means. So my advice to young people is that look at what you get as a potential, try for see how you go tap into that potential before let you succeed in life. It not necessarily means a pass you go that through that shortcut or through criminal activities for let you make money in a life. So now my advice standing. Of course, this text I say let we acknowledge the role and support with the U.S. Treasury Department they provide. Of course, not only the U.S. Treasury Department, I want for publicly acknowledge say we get the intermittent technical advisory missions where U.S. Department of Treasury don't they provide to this country, and as we they talk so today we get video conference with the lead consultant for see what will be the next areas of intervention. We also get we regional partner with JABA, Intergovernmental Action Group Against Money Laundering, then very instrumental in trying for build capacity across all the relevant sectors them. Private sector, supervisory institution, law enforcement. So we also want to acknowledge them because of that support we then they provide to the anti-money laundering regime. And in terms of bitcoins, of course, we know bitcoins, they not permit the operations in this country because the central bank will support for supervised financial services, no, they in the position for provide license for the operations of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin operations are illegal as far as we know inside this country.
Somebody they ask, say, for you explain about the Lebanese mob they try for small gold foreign currency out of the country.
Yeah, now something we will look into. If we attempt for go with a different foreign currencies them, where they lungi and they intercept them, and that money they will be get for all within a central bank for safekeeping, and the police be looking into that matter. And after the police look into that matter, I think they will send them for legal advice. And that is how much I know about Sunday, because we own as a administrative FIU, what we do when we get the information and intelligence, we try for process and pass on to the law enforcement.
How long it can take for process information of such nature?
Well, we don't get specific timeline for process the information. It depends how quickly we get all the facts around the particular matter, then we put together our intelligence and send them to police. But we're always mindful of the timeliness of intelligence, because when intelligence timely, now it will be meaningful to law enforcement agency. But some will not get specific time frames, say 1 day, 2 days. It depends on the particular matter and the facts then we'll get around the matter then.
All right, thank you very much, David M. Bobo, Manager Examination and Compliance. We come out from the Financial Intelligence Unit. He can explain but the verification process what then they do now for people who want for open bureau and microfinancial institution. Them they don't get 32 applications so far. They don't process but 20 and then get 12 remaining. Where then still they look before
for this year.
For this year, where then still they look into before they advise the bank for go on with the licensing process. Well, now they end the program Good Morning Salone for today on edition. Michael Sambola and Alex Lawrence Komana then produced the program. DJ Lava give technical support. Franklin Pemagui and his team now they make on our watch with live now Facebook page. Mina Khadija Bangwa they say have a blessed weekend.
And Musa Eskamara they say not forget for listening to Inside Parliament where they come to you tomorrow 11 o'clock, and also Sport Update where they come to you Sunday from 12 to 1. And Musa Eskamara they say bye bye, have a nice weekend.